try to get all the cars fired up. But the leaders will be coming down the front straight before we get everybody going. A little bit of smoke, a little bit of tire wear down here right away as the push trucks push them off. Everybody gets started up in good fashion that has been pushed so far. Everybody fired and going. The 11 of Bobby Fitzpatrick now having just a little bit of trouble. The 24 cars are all under motion. This is, without a doubt, the richest, the most prestigious super modified race that's going to be held anywhere in the country this year or any other year. The Budweiser International Classic has grown in stature, it has grown in prestige, it has reached the top of the pack. When you talk about super modified racing, and one race that any super modified driver would love to win, whether they are here on the East Coast and in a position where they can make the International Classic to even try it, or whether they're out on the West Coast and just dreaming about it, the International Classic is the one, Denny, that everybody would love at some time in their career to take home.
There's no doubt about it. This is the race. This is what you put everything together all year for. It's what the fans all wait for. But most of all, everything that you do throughout the year is really targeted at this race, the Classic year-end race, and it's just so exciting. And I was kind of glad to see that they made that the last race of the year, the grand finale, because you can put everything that you've got into it. And
cheer them on their way. Cheer for your favorite. Wave your hat, wave your hand, wave whatever the drivers. Acknowledging you, even if they don't move in their car, you know they see you, they hear you, they know you want to see a great race. Here on the front grandstand, get up and make some noise. The finest super modified field ever assembled for the biggest race of their career, the 1990 Budweiser International Classic 200. The drivers now all set, going down into the corner, 34 of them, from pole center Bentley Warren to scratch starter the 06 of Dave McKnight. The beautiful Oswego Speedway pace car from Burritt Chevrolet pulls into the rear pit gate entrance. The field starts to pick up the pace. Coming down off turn 4, Jerry Kritzman throws the green flag. We are underway. It's Eddie Bellinger off the outside pole trying to get out in front, and he does. Gary Albritton follows him through in second. But now Bentley Warren comes back underneath. Ben said he didn't care if he won early or led early or not. He was going to save the car and run hard at the end of the race. As they come around to complete lap number 1, it's Eddie Bellinger in front, and a little bit of overflow, I believe, coming out of the 80 of Mike Muldoon. You can see the 80 of Muldoon, some overflow from the fuel tank coming out. You'll probably notice it on several other cars as well. A battle at the front now. Muldoon getting underneath the number 3 of Gary Albritton, and Muldoon takes over second. Boy, I'll tell you, he's got a lot of overflow coming out of that car. Now the 70 of Gary Morton diving down low, trying to take over third. Albritton hangs on. Now Morton gets through there to take over the third spot. Albritton drops back to fourth. Bentley Warren running fifth. And it's Pat Abold in sixth. The 9 of Joya running seventh. 75, Gene Lee Gibson is eighth. Doug Darrow is ninth, and rounding out the top 10, the 32 of Danny Sewell. Bellinger out in front in the 02. If you believe what you hear in the pits, Muldoon in the number 80 is going to be making a pit stop. He wanted to run hard, run fast, run out front early, and then make a pit stop. He is a guy that we are told would like to try to lap the field and then come in, make the pit stop, and still be the leader. Bellinger, though, out in front in the 02 as the fuel continues to pour out of the 80, and that almost looks spin down in the corner. It is Doug Saunier, Terry Deal, Saunier, Deal, Kenny Bell, all involved, and I think Sharkey is the other one over there. 4 cars all involved. Sharkey is out of the car, and okay, Kenny Bell and Doug Saunier both remain over there. The 4th car involved somehow got away from it all. I think it started with Saunier in the 22. There's the other car involved, and you can see right front end damage on the 57 of Terry Deal. Buddy Deal, or rather in the 57, Deal has made it into the pits, but he will go laps down as they have to work on the car in there. Over in turn, flag has been displayed. Pat Abold in 6th, Steve Joy is 7th, Gene Lee Gibson 8th, Doug Didero 9th, and the 32 of Danny Sewell in 10th. Green flag is back out in turn 3. Muldoon had been making a run at the 02 of Bellinger for the lead, and he had almost moved underneath when the yellow flag came out. Now here's Bentley Warren. He goes to work on the 3 of Gary Albritton. Down the back chute. Muldoon looking low underneath Bellinger, but Bellinger hangs on to that top spot. Coming around to complete that 13th lap, Bellinger is the race leader. He is piling up $25 a lap in lap sponsorship money. Mike Muldoon running in 2nd. They are pulling away from the rest of the field. Gary Morton is now 3rd. Bentley Warren has come back to 4th. Gary Albritton driving in 5th right now. As they come around to complete lap number 14, Bellinger, the leader, he is running right around 18 seconds. That is the first lap under 18, a 17.868. 02, Eddie Bellinger, the leader. 80 of Mike Muldoon running 2nd. Gary Morton, a strong run here in the early going, is 3rd. Bentley Warren running in 4th. Gary Albritton rounding out the top 5 here with 15 laps now completed. Then it's the 05 of Abel, 9 of Joya, 75 Gene Lee Gibson, 73 Didero, 32 of Sewell, 00 Joe Gosick next in line. The 1 of Ordway is running in 12th right now as Bellinger gets around and opens up about a car length lead. This is the first advantage he has had out here in some time. Schulich, the 01 of Jeff West, and the number 5 of Kenny Williamson rounding out the top 15. That is the rundown after 15 laps, and Scotty Martell goes to the pits in the number 14. Martell out of the action early, takes it nose first in. He says, I do not need a push truck, I'm done for the day. Bellinger and Muldoon, meanwhile, out in front, have opened up a lead over Gary Morton of over a second and a half. Bellinger, the race leader, with Gary Morton running in 3rd, Muldoon sandwiched in between, and we're getting to the stage of the race where things kind of string out for a little bit. Nobody wants to make any bad moves. Everybody wants to hang tough. Little bit of action going on here at the back of the pack as Dave McKnight continues to try to work himself up. McKnight getting by a couple of cars. He is trying to get into the top 25 at the moment. Eddie Bellinger, the race leader. Everybody running in the lead lap as we come around to complete lap number 20. Bellinger out in front. Muldoon running 2nd. In 3rd, it remains the 70 of Gary Morton, followed by the 61 of Bentley Warren and the 3 of Gary Albritton. Pat Abold still runs in 6th. Steve Joy is 7th. Gene Lee Gibson 8th. 9th and 10th, Didero and Sewell. So the top 10 have been in this order for pretty much the entire first 21 laps of the race. Bubbling just out of the top 10, Gosick runs 11th. Ordway 12th. Schulich, West, and Williamson rounding out the top 15. Here's a battle for the lead now. Muldoon gets underneath Bellinger, and Mike Muldoon grabs the lead here in lap number 22. Muldoon, the new race leader. Muldoon taking the lead on the 22nd lap as they are moving in now on slower traffic. Dean Hogue in the 7th is the first car in danger of being lapped. Bentley Warren gets by the 70 of Gary Morton, and Bentley Warren now takes over 3rd. Bellinger slid that time coming out of turn 2. He lost a lot of ground to race leader Mike Muldoon. Muldoon coming around out in front in the Port City Water Donovan owned number 80. Muldoon, the race leader, a 17.9. He's got a 6/10 of a second lead right now over the 02 of Eddie Bellinger. Bentley Warren moving up to 3rd. Gary Morton dropping back into 4th. Gary Albritton now takes over 4th. Morton falls into 5th. So Gary Morton, a little bit of problem. The number 9 of Joya still has what appears to be fuel coming out of the car. And 25 laps into the race, that's a little bit unusual. 73 and 32, Didero and Sewell continue to round out the top 10. As we continue to run in the early going, they're followed by Gosick and Ordway. Schulich, then Williamson, and Jeff West has dropped back a couple of notches into 15th. followed by Randy Richkus, and then Howie Lane in the number 97. The race leader, the 80 of Mike Muldoon, but here is the 61 Bentley Warren getting up underneath the 02 of Eddie Ballinger. Warren now making a charge towards the front. He's underneath Ballinger coming off the corner. Passing flag has been displayed for Dean Hogue. Bentley Warren and Eddie Ballinger battling out for second. Ballinger lets Warren go. It's still early in the race. Gary Albritton closing on the leaders, now running in fourth. Gary Morton rounding out the top five as they come up to put a lap on the number 7 of Dean Hogue. Running here in lap number 30. Hogue is about to be the first car lapped on the track. Tony Pafumi has brought the 24 into the pits. Pafumi in problems with the number 24. Passing flag out for Hogue as Muldoon, Warren, and the rest of the field come down the front straight. Bentley Warren now moving in to challenge the 80 of Mike Muldoon. Muldoon trying to come by the 7 of Dean Hogue. Meanwhile, Gary Albritton gets underneath the 02 of Eddie Ballinger. Albritton moves up to third. Ballinger now running in fourth. So Ballinger, the early leader, all of a sudden drops back into fourth. Mike Muldoon trying to get by Dean Hogue. They run side by side down the back straight. That last lap in 18:68. A very slow lap into the pits, the 28 of Eric Lewis. Hogue is staying low as Muldoon goes by him. Now Bentley Warren and Gary Albritton are right nose to tail behind the 80 of Muldoon. Muldoon hanging on to the lead, but he's got company right now from behind. 33 a spin in the corner, the 23 of Douglas. Mike Douglas brings out the yellow flag with a spin in turn 2.
Well, he lost it coming into 2, brought the nose down, just about hit the inside hub, spun it all the way down, and then crossed the racetrack. The good news is when he crossed the track, there was no one in those tracks.
The other hand, runs better as the tires get warmer, so it's going to be pretty hard for Mike to get away from the field today.
Muldoon has taken the white flag, as has the rest of the field. They're going down the back straight. The pace car, the convertible Chevrolet, will pull into the rear pit gate entrance. We are getting ready to go. The 23 still sits in the pits. Green flag is back out. Muldoon pulls a couple 3 car lengths over the 61 of Warren at the start. Dean Hogue, the left car, he is trying to stay down low and let the field get by him on the outside. They are obliging by doing that. Here's Gary Albritton. He's underneath, and Albritton takes over second from Bentley Warren. Warren takes a couple of laps to get heat in his tires, and that time it cost him as Gary Albritton got underneath, and now Albritton is underneath Muldoon. Albritton is by Muldoon. Goodbye, Gary Albritton. Albritton takes the lead, running in lap number 40. Gary Albritton, the number 3, is the new leader. Albritton out in front, takes the lead from Mike Muldoon, going by Bentley Warren and Muldoon in relatively short order. After 40 laps have been complete, it is Gary Albritton, the leader. Mike Muldoon running second, Bentley Warren third, Eddie Ballinger fourth, the 70 of Gary Morton in fifth, and the yellow coming out down in the corner. They spin over between 3 and 4. Looks like Howie Lane in the number 97. He got into the wall. The right rear got in hard on the number 97. He got in too hard and washed out, we are told, by the cornerman. Morton 6th, Steve Joya 7th, Pat Abold 8th, Gene Lee Gibson 9th, Doug Didero 10th, Joe Gosick 11th is Danny Sewell, 12th Mike Ordway, 13th Kenny Williamson, 14th Jeff West, and 15th is Randy Richkus. They are all in the lead lap. 45 laps have now been completed. Green flag is back out in turn number 3. Muldoon going to try to make a run at the number 3 of Albritton, as here comes the 70 of Gary Morton and the 9 of Steve Joya. They go to battle, and Joya comes away with it. Joya getting by the 70 of Morton, as Morton was trying to look to come around the 02 of Eddie Ballinger. On the back straight, 2 cars coming together, Jeff West, and I believe the 77 of Dick Batchelder. West and Batchelder coming together on the back straight. The 3rd car over there I'll have to check on. That is Bobby Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick in the 11. Bill Foley was right there. Let's go to Bill.
Well, Jeff West got sideways coming out of 2, and a lot of guys got by him, and Bobby Fitzpatrick buried the 11 in the hub rail here on the inside, and then Dick Batchelor just slammed into the 01, just had him right on. Dick Batchelor was a little bit shaken. He's got his helmet on. He is talking to track officials. Meanwhile, Jeff West
taking the lead on lap number 22. Bellinger in the 02 led the first 22 laps of the race. 70 of Morton told to go ahead of the 9 of Joya. That is the way it is. The pace car is back in. The green flag is out right now in turn 3. Look at them coming up through the back of the field, going high and low, running 2 and 3 deep in the corner. They come down the front chute right away. Gary Morton going to work on Eddie Bellinger. Bellinger running in 4th, Morton running 5th. Joya, who had just gotten by Morton, not able to do it now, as Morton gets underneath Bellinger going down in the 3rd turn. Here is Warren. Bentley Warren working on the number 3 of Gary Albritton for the lead. Warren way high over in turn number 4. Coming out of the corner, sets right in behind the 3 of Albritton. Albritton down low. Warren on the outside now going for the front. Bentley Warren is up alongside. They go side by side into the turn. A slower car ahead, the 36 of Kenny Williamson. And on the outside, Bentley Warren takes the lead. Warren grabbing the lead on lap 64. He becomes the 4th leader of this race. Bentley Warren, the new leader, coming in to put a lap on the 36 of Kenny Bell. Warren out in front, Albritton running in 2nd. Coming around in 3rd, it is the 80 of Muldoon. Then the 02 Bellinger and the 70 of Morton. So Bentley Warren, the pole sitter, finally moves out in front. In the number 61, the top 5, Warren, Albritton, the 80 of Muldoon, 02 Bellinger, and the 70 of Gary Morton. Then the 9 of Joya, 05 Abel, the 75 of Gene Lee Gibson, 73 Doug Didero. He's been running right up in the thick of things all race long. Right behind him, the 00 of Joe Gosick, then the 5 of Williamson, and the 32 of Danny Sewell. In that order, the leaders putting a lap on the 36 of Bell, as Muldoon now being challenged by Eddie Bellinger for 3rd. Muldoon in that Port City water number 80. He went with soft tires. He may be wearing them out already. As they were saying, a soft tire would not go 100 laps. As the 61 of Warren, the 3 of Albritton are now pulling away from the 80 of Muldoon and the 02 of Bellinger.
17:78, the last lap for Bentley Warren. Albritton now is dropped to about a 2nd disadvantage, as again Warren's got the tires heated and he's going to pull away to a 1 second plus advantage over Gary Albritton. That lap, 17:49. The advantage now 1.25, 1.25 seconds. Gibson in the pits. Gene Lee Gibson pulls off the 75. He was running solidly in the top 10 until right now. They're going to change the left rear tire on the 75 as Gibson runs into tire problems just past the halfway mark. Bentley Warren dominating the first half of this race, took the lead on the 64th lap for the first time after setting pole. Bellinger came on to grab the lead. Muldoon had it for a while. Albritton showed strong and held the lead quite a while, got some lap money, but Warren now is led from 64 to 110, some 46 laps. 12 cars remain on the lead lap in the 34th Annual International Classic. And the classiest of them all for now remains Bentley Warren. Warren, with the help of the passing flag and a very strong car, turns the lap to 17:45 and now is ahead by 2 3/4 seconds. So almost every time you look up, if they stay green, Bentley doubles the lead. Hard to believe he could be that much stronger, or that the others are saving that much car. depending on your point of view. Bentley, though, certainly understands the stakes. And whoa, look at this. It's Jamie Moore spinning and backing it up the track. I don't know how Sewell was able to find the outside groove after it closed on him. He was committed out there. He was able to squirrel the car, brake the car hard, and find a way to that outside. Would a Mel beat the pace car? No, I don't think so. Sewell looks to me as if he will go down a lap. Right here, they work on the right front, and they've replaced the right rear, but they work on the right front, and Sewell loses a lap. So he is going to be down more than one if he doesn't hustle now. The pit stop goes awry, and the Sewell Racing team is down at least one. So it's Bentley Warren. Ritzka smoking heavily towards the back of the pack, continuing to smoke harder and harder as the race wears on. Could be a brake problem on that car. Could be off the motor. Seems to be worse in the corners. It is not affecting the front runners, though, as Bentley Warren, Gary Albritton, and Eddie Bellinger set the pace. Bit of a shakeup after Mike Muldoon, who runs fourth. It is Gene Lee Gibson up to fifth. Gene Lee down a lap, and Didero up to fifth. Sixth is Abald as he continues to run very strong, but very conservative. Abald in sixth. Past 120 now, working 121. It is the 61 of Bentley Warren. Already Ben opening up an advantage over half a second. He just can hit the button and take it where he wants to go, apparently as quick as he wants to go. Matter of fact, Ben on record is saying if it had been a daytime time trial, he may have had a 16.6 or a 16.7. The car felt that quick, and he really felt a daytime time trial, he could have shattered the record by 3 or 4 tenths. Right now, he's shattering the field, blistering off 17.55 that lap, 17.57 the lap before, and again, Bentley out in front by a second plus, just like that. Doubles the interval in the space of 2 laps and pulls away. Bellinger, however, starting to reel in Gary Albritton. 3 former winners in front of the pack. They are Warren, Albritton, and Bellinger. Bellinger used a lot of tire early, started to drive very conservatively for 70 laps. But now, Bellinger again starting to move back towards the front on the restarts, working Albritton over a bit. There's Didero in fourth. Fifth is Abald. Schulich all the way up now into sixth spot. The shoe also using quite a lot of heavy foot power on that pedal, and plenty of ponies to muscle his way back up towards the front. Boy, way out of line and in big trouble is Ritzkus. Ritzkus way out of the groove there up in the fourth corner, came all the way back down across the track. Somehow saved that car. He was all but gone. So Ritzkus, obvious problems with that car, but hangs in there and runs with some of the front runners. Bentley Warren a straightaway advantage. Albritton being pressured by Bellinger. Muldoon back in the picture as well. And now Gibson back to the pits for a second visit.
Bentley has opened up a straightaway lead over the field. He is running through some heavy lap traffic right now as we are trying to breed some rain showers out over Lake Ontario. Bentley out in front, going by Kenny Bell, Danny Sewell, and putting another lap on Joey Moriarty as well. Running in second, it is the number 3 of Gary Albritton. But right now, Albritton is 3.6 tenths of a second off the lead. Almost 4 seconds behind. That is a straightaway behind for Gary Albritton in the number 3. Bentley slowed coming out of turn 2 that time. Got really sideways. Check out his engine this time coming through the corner. He may have had a little fluid coming off that time. Bentley coming down into the turn. Maybe not, but again he slides up here in the turn. Doug Didero is out of it. Didero goes to the pits in the 73. He was running in third. Now there are just 7 cars in the lead lap. Bentley Warren out in front in that number 61. Believe it or not, Bentley has now built his lead up to 6.8 seconds. Almost 7 seconds the advantage for the 61 of Bentley Warren. We're talking total domination as we near the end of the 1990 Budweiser International Classic. Fewer than 40 laps to go. Bentley Warren, the race leader. It is starting to spit, I am told. You'll recall again. Whoa, and the 87 goes up in smoke. Kenny Williamson into the wall. Steve Joya spins around as well. The 87, Randy Ritzkis, puked the engine coming down the front chute. Randy getting out of the car. We got a fire in the car. Randy is out of the car. Randy is okay. It is an oil fire down here. The track safety crew coming down to put it out. Randy got out of the car up in the corner. The red flag has come out. We got water on the track as well. 23, Mike Douglas coming to a stop down here. The pace car working its way out of the pit area. Bentley Warren is the race leader. We've got a few raindrops on the track. We got a blown motor on the 87 of Ritzkis. Ritz doing a real smart move down there. He got out of the car and let it roll down across the track. It was on fire. Randy just wanted to get out, wanted to get it over to the fire extinguisher. Meanwhile, the pace car is out on the track, picking up the 61, the race leader, Bentley Warren. The tarps going onto the cars into the pit area. The track not getting very wet, but is certainly getting a little bit wet right now. Here comes the 5 of Kenny Williamson. Budweiser International Classic. The leader is Bentley Warren. Second is Gary Albritton. Third is Eddie Bellinger. Fourth is Dave Schulich. Then the lap car of Jamie Moore. Fifth is the 05 of Pat Abold. They are the only cars in the lead lap. The pace car is out of the way. Here is the green flag. We are back to racing action. I tell you, Dave Schulich got by Eddie Bellinger right at the get-go. Schulich made a bonsai move and got by Bellinger to take over third. Bellinger falling back to fourth. He's going to go to work on the number 41 of Dave Schulich. 61 out in front is Bentley Warren. Here comes Bellinger back on the outside, trying to come by Schulich. Abold right there as well. The top 5 run nose to tail. It's a 19-second lap on the takeoff. Eddie Bellinger lost a spot to Dave Schulich on the restart as Schulich got Bellinger. Bellinger went to look to the outside of Albritton, and now Abold gets underneath Bellinger. Eddie trying to run the high groove, but he's got no heat in the tires, and he is not able to stick out there at all. He has given up 2 spots now, 3rd to 5th. He is the last car running in the lead lap. 18-3 the last time for Bentley Warren. The 06 Dave McKnight has gone back into the pits with smoke coming off the engine. Your leader, Bentley Warren, 17-9 that time, and Ben shows that the layoff hurt him the least, as he already has a 9/10 of a second lead over the number 3 of Gary Albritton. Dave Schulich, Pat Abold, Eddie Bellinger in 5th, but Bellinger dropping way back off the pace in that number 02. 91, Randy Wynn is at least 1 lap down. Everybody else 1 or more laps down as well. Bill Sharkey and Kenny Bell racing side by side back here in the pack, along with a 75 of Gene Lee Gibson. That's really a relatively meaningless battle at this point. 61 Bentley Warren, 17-6 that time. And Ben trying to get his picture on both sides of the Oswego Speedway pace car one more time. He did it in 1989. The odds were a couple of weeks ago it was not going to happen in 1990, but here he is. Dave Schulich now working on the 3 of Gary Albritton. Pat Abold running in 4th. Bellinger has fallen way back off the pace. 17-5 the time for the leader. Bellinger is in 5th, the last car in the lead lap, but nowhere near a factor in this one right now. Gary Albritton, time to hang on to 3rd. It is about a 4-car length difference. Bellinger working Albritton over down the back straight. Meanwhile, Bentley Warren getting away from Schulich. Schulich getting away from Albritton and Bellinger. Bellinger pulls up to the outside. He tries to outrun Gary Albritton down the front straight. He does, going into the first turn. A half-second advantage now for Bentley Warren. Bellinger takes over third in the 0-2. Your leader, 61, Bentley Warren. Second, the 41, the shoe, Dave Schulich. 9 laps to go. Eddie Bellinger running in third. It is Gary Albritton fourth, and Pat Abold in the top 5 as Mike Ordway, maybe the fastest car on the track at the moment. He has come from deep in the field, gone by everybody, and just went on around the 5th running 05 of Abold. But Ordway is a whole bunch of laps down. He's lots of laps down. 7/10 of a second the advantage with 8 laps to go. A 17-4 the last lap for Bentley Warren. Bellinger back in third with Albritton running 4th and Abold 5th. Schulich, who made a good run at it, is apparently going to come up 1 spot short unless something goes wrong with the 61 of Bentley Warren. Ben is out in front. He is running away. Schulich is in second right now, but he trails by over a second at the moment. Eddie Bellinger third, Gary Albritton fourth, Pat Abold. Great run for the young man out of Penalville. He is in 5th. Bentley, Mr. Consistency, back around the 17:36 mark. Now there are 5 laps to go as your leader comes off the 4th corner. Bentley Warren, 5 to go. Dave Schulich running in second. Bellinger third. Albritton fourth. Pat Abold back here in 5th. Joya Sewell and Idero, 3 good runners right behind him, but they are all many laps down. I believe Stevie is either 4 or 5 laps down. 17-4 the lap time for Bentley Warren, as we've got 4 cars running in a pack down here trying to come around Pat Abold, but Abold is in the lead lap. The other guys are all just running for honor right now, and Abold is running out of fuel. Abold runs out of fuel. The yellow flag comes out. (17:25) the last lap. Here comes the pace car out to pick up the leader, Bentley Warren. Dave Schulich running in second. 2 laps to go. And they will get the white flag when they come by. Down the back straight. You're a 1. Here is Dave Schulich on the outside on the restart. The green flag is out. Schulich made a run at it. Bellinger got Albritton. Albritton trying to get him back. Down into the first turn. Schulich made a run at Bentley Warren. Green flag is out. This one has to finish under the green. Coming around this time, they'll get the white. The white flag is Albritton is back underneath Bellinger. The white flag is out. Down the front chute. It's the 61 and they spin. Bellinger and Albritton spin in the corner. Danny Sewell spins as well. Down the front chute. It's the 61 and they spin. Bellinger and Albritton spin in the corner. Danny Sewell also spinning down here. Not apparent a lot of damage to the car. The race has to finish under the green. The race must finish under the green. It'll be 2 laps under the green. Bellinger and Albritton. Bellinger is out of the car. Push truck coming in behind the 3. Eddie is going off on the hook. He had a top 5 finish for sure. Maybe 3rd, maybe 2nd. Sewell going to be pushed around as well. Albritton loses. That is what they were told to fuel enough for, would be up to 210 laps. So they're trying to get this one restarted by 2:05 at their 2:08 rather at the latest. And we will probably get the white. Track safety crew off the track. The pace car will pull into the rear pit gate entrance. And All-Britain runs out of fuel, I believe. All-Britain out of fuel in the number 3. The pace car is in. The green flag is out. They've got to go 2 laps. Here's the leader, Bentley Warren. They'll get the white flag next time by and the green. The lap after that, or the checkered rather, the lap after that, Bentley Warren, the race leader, Dave Schulich running in second. All-Britain runs out of fuel. Bellinger in the pits as well. Here is the white flag one more time around. One more time around as the cars, a few of them showing signs of running low on fuel. Bentley, though, just pulling away from Dave Schulich. Schulich at this point content to finish second. He is the only other car in the lead lap. The checkered flags are out the win to Bentley Warren. Bentley wins the International Classic for 2 years in a row. Abold runs out of fuel at the end. Abold ran out of fuel at the end as well. He finished in third behind Schulich.
A tremendous, exciting finish of the 34th Annual International Classic. Dave Schulich coming up just a few feet short, but Bentley Warren will be on both sides of the pace car in 1991. Bentley Warren, once again, the veteran, and this time the Middlesex Power Marine machine had enough to go a very long distance.
The Budweiser girls coming down to help with the presentation. Coming out from behind the wheel of the Mazer number 6, they won the 1990 track champion, the 1990 International Classic winner. Let's hear it for Bentley Warren. Top 5 cars must go to the scales. Top 5 cars to the scales. 41 Schulich, 05 Abold go to the scales. Here is your race winner, Bentley Warren.
Bentley, we're going to get you so the fans can at least hear what you have to say. You didn't win all year. You said this was the one you wanted.
I guess all the ones we lost, this one makes up for it. This is a heck of a win. It was, you know, it probably looked easy, but it was wicked hard, I'll tell you. I was driving my butt off all day. I did take it a little bit easy for a few laps, but not very many. And the rest of the time, I just, you know, drove about as hard as I possibly could. And I knew there was a lot of competition there, and I just couldn't take any chances and pussyfoot around because they were just going too good. And the restarts, I couldn't believe that I came off on restarts as well as we did. Maybe I was wicked pumped or something like that, but I thought Schulich or Bellinger or one of the guys would get me on a restart. And
with a few laps to go, I think it was around 198, 199, Dave Schulich showed himself on your right-hand side. Did he really show himself?
yeah, he was right there, and I said, oh, Jesus, now 2 laps to go and he's going to beat me. I don't believe this. But the Hoosiers worked and we held on, fortunately.
Bentley, were you worried about getting the heat in the tires initially, or really trying to scuff the tires, or was that a fuel problem at the end?
No, I think we were out of fuel the last lap. I'm not sure, but it was tires. I was trying to get the tires as hot as I could because I saw Schulich that last time. I just figured maybe my tires weren't quite as hot, so I just, you know, worked wicked hard to keep them warm.
Bentley, does this ever get old? I mean, is this just a habit now?
Not when you're sitting here in Victory Lane at the Budweiser Classic. I'll tell you, it's really something. The guys did a heck of a job, and everybody did.